Hey fellow bibliophiles, this is Sophia with Los Literature and I'm back with another video. This time we are going to be talking about my June TBR. I am so excited to pick my new TBR because I have a fun new way of doing this. I am going to be picking random books / themed reading vlogs out of this jar. I decided to include my themed reading vlogs because some of them are quite massive and involve like 10 books at least. So I decided this random way would just be the best way to do it. And so there are a couple of rules that come along with this. If I do pick a themed reading vlog, that is going to dictate how many other books I decide to draw out of here. So for example, if I have a themed reading vlog that involves 5 books, I will probably choose at least 2 or 3 more out of here. But if I have a themed reading vlog that involves an entire series of like 6 or more books, those are the only books I will be focusing on reading. And then if I do finish those within the month and decide that I want to read something else, I will just once again pick out of here. So you may notice this looks different. The last time you saw this, I had them in this cup, but I decided this cup was better for bookmarks and pens and stuff like that, and that this was just more aesthetic and pleasing for my little pieces of paper. I am allowed to put books back, so for example, if I have drawn out 5 books and I want to choose 3 more, but the next one I draw is to read the entire House of Night series, I'm going to put that one back because I've already picked other books before that, and it just doesn't make sense to overwhelm myself like that because lately I've been reading 8 to 10 books per month, so 8 to 10 books will get drawn out of here. And I am doing this because lately choosing a book has been too hard for me, and I wanted something that would take the choice out of my hands. And I didn't want to do something that was like a random number generator because that's like not as fun and it's harder to involve you guys in that. So I came up with writing all of the titles on little pieces of paper and shaking them up and drawing one out. I think it's going to be super fun, and only all of my unread books / my rereads are in here, so we'll see. I'm so excited to get started with this. Okay. So we're gonna choose the first book, and once again, it's a little ASMR for you. Alright, I'm gonna choose this one. So the first book I'm gonna read in June is One of Us is Lying. And also I'm gonna draw all these pieces of paper and then go get the books and come show you guys because they're kind of scattered around. So, alright. That book is interesting because I have actually tried to read it before and I DNF'd it, so we'll see if I actually get through it this time. And the order that I draw them out in is not always the order that I'm gonna read them in. It might be, it might not be, so we'll see. I might try to do that for June, and then if it doesn't work out, we'll switch things up for July. So One of Us is Lying, and then the second book I will be reading is, I'm gonna pick this one. Oh, my nails are preventing me from opening this. Spanish Harry Potter Book 1. So this is Harry Potter y la Piedra Filosofal. It's gonna take me a while to get through this, so I think I'm only gonna choose like 6 other books to read just because Spanish is not my first language, so reading in it does take me quite a while. Alright, the third book is Drawn. I feel like Effie Trinket in the Hunger Games doing this. Oh man, I never thought I'd say that. Okay. I don't know what it is. So the one I pulled out was reading House of Night, but we're not gonna do that because I already chose Spanish Harry Potter, so put that one out so I don't draw it again. Anyways, I'm hoping this will last me all year, and I hope that it'll help me get quite a decent chunk of my unread books read. So yeah, I'm really just hoping that it'll help me like improve my reading and help me not be so stressed out about choosing books every month. Okay. Ooh, Unraveled Visions. This is a book I've already started, and it is the second book in a trilogy called A Shaman Mystery or something like that. It takes place in London, and it's about a shaman who helps the police solve murders. I thought that was a super cool plot, and I haven't really heard anyone talk about it, so I'm super excited I'm going to be reading this. Alright, and the fourth book is An Everyday Hero. This is a book that I got in the book box my boyfriend ordered for me for my birthday. It was a selection of books that just came and he had no knowledge of what they were going to be. So I haven't really heard of this, and I think it's more contemporary, which isn't usually my style, but I've read another book that seemed like it and I really love that one, so I really want to like this one, if that makes any sense. And I blinked for a minute. I was like, An Everyday Hero, do I own this? Yes, I do own this. Okay, the fifth book I'm gonna read is The Mary Shelley Club. Ooh, I'm so excited to read this. There's been like quite a few people who have talked about how much they love this book, so I really want to read it and see what I think. Yeah, I'm super excited, and I love Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley is like my girl, like the mother of science fiction. Like, she doesn't get the recognition she deserves, so I will go to bat for my girl Mary Shelley. So yeah, and honestly, the fact that it's called the Mary Shelley Club is like the only thing that made me want to read this. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I bought it quite a while ago and I still haven't read it, so we're gonna read it. I guess that's just like the theme of my reading. I bought this a while ago and I still haven't read it. I do that with every book I own. So the fifth book I picked was Uprooted. I've tried to read this book so much and it's not gone very well at any point, so we will see if if next month will be the month that I can finally finish it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous about that one because it's been on my currently reading list for like over 2 years, or right at 2 years, so I really need to like finish it and get it off there. And I think I might potentially sell it, but I don't know. There's a half price down in Scottsdale that I might go to sell some of my books. Because, yeah, I'm really not interested in keeping the ones I don't enjoy anymore. I mean, why do I want space on my shelves for books I don't like? I don't. Anyways, sorry about that tangent. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to pick 2 more. And we'll cap it at 8. Okay, here we go. The 7th book I'm reading is sorry, this is taking a while. The Girl Next Door. I don't know if I own this either. This might be one of my newer books that I haven't really looked at long enough to like cement it in my mind. I think I know which one that is, but I'm gonna wait till I pull it off the shelf to say for sure. Okay, and the last book of June is Bloodmarked. Ooh, this is the second book in the Legendborn series. So, and I actually just got that in the mail. You'll see it in my book haul video. I think that one will be up before this video, so if you haven't watched it, go watch it. I am super excited to read this, but I am very like scared that it's gonna end with a love triangle because I hate love triangles. They're not even triangles, they're love lines. And love lines go from girl to boy A to boy B, and inevitably back to boy A. I don't like that. Like, I really do hate love triangles. So, and I am gonna start a new policy of any book that I do not finish from the previous month, I have to read that first before I move on. So, for example, I just finished another book today, but the next 2 books I'm reading are The Shadow of What Was Lost and The Priory of the Orange Tree. So if I finish The Shadow of What Was Lost, but not The Priory of the Orange Tree before June, I still have to finish Priory of the Orange Tree before I start any of the new books that I just picked out from my jar. So, yep, that is going to be my policy. Anyways, let me go grab those books off the shelf just really quick, and then I will show you all. Okay, so we're going to start with the first book that I pulled, which is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. And when I read this, there was only the second book to this series released, and there's currently like 3 of them out, I think. I've heard the Hulu series is actually super good, so maybe if I like this enough, I will watch that. When I tried reading this, I couldn't even get past the first chapter before I DNF'd it, and I honestly think I wasn't in the right mood. I was in too judgmental of a mood to get through it. So yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this book, but I am gonna give it my best go. I very rarely DNF books just because I am so easy to please as a reader, so like it's very easy for me to find things that I do like and kind of ignore what I don't. But yes, if I don't like this enough to keep it, it is gonna go to my classroom though, so it will not like just sit on my shelves and won't ever be read. I'm gonna put it in my classroom so all my future students can enjoy it. And yes, and for those of you who don't know, this is basically about 5 students who are in detention, and one of the students, Simon, dies in detention. That is not a spoiler, it literally says that right here. Like, that is the whole plot of the book. And so basically, his death wasn't an accident, and he was going to reveal juicy gossip about the other 4 students in the detention with him. And so the theory is that like one of them killed him to keep their secret from being told. That is actually a super interesting plot, so that makes me very excited to read this. Okay, and then the next book is Harry Potter y la Piedra Filosofal. Also, Spanish, books in Spanish are formatted differently. There's no quotation marks. Instead, there's like these little dashes that show when a character is speaking. So that's been another thing I've had to adjust to. But I'm actually already on page 79, so that does help me out quite a bit. And it's not really the longest book, so I think I should be able to get through this if I like really focus on it and really like concentrate and try to read this. Yeah, it's just gonna take me a while is all, which is why for June, I always want to say July, which is why for June we're only doing 8 books instead of 10 because of this. All right, and the next book I have is Unraveled Visions by Nina Milton, and this is the second book in a Shaman Mystery trilogy. And this is about how someone's been killed and a fortune teller has gone missing, and Sabby's newest client, a scared woman with an angry husband, has also disappeared. So there's just lots of little disappearances that are somehow all related, and I'm kind of interested to see how she'll connect them. The shaman part of this book is so interesting to me because she talks about actual shamanic journeys she takes and how she can see people's fortunes and stuff like that, and I just think that's super interesting because that's not something I've read a whole lot about in contemporary stories. It's something that does feature quite heavily in fantasy, but contemporary is not something that many authors choose to write about. So yeah, I'm very excited to finally finish this. I am also on page 86. So I've already started this as well, and I'm so excited to finally finish it. Alright, the next book is An Everyday Hero by Laura Trentham. I was right, this is one of the books that I received in that book box my boyfriend got me. And this is just basically about people who are kind of affected by their own past trauma and feel like failures, and about this woman named Greer who meets a 15-year-old girl named Allie Martinez, and Greer finds herself spending more and more time with Emmett Lawson, who is a man that has past trauma himself. And then Allie, something happens to Allie, and the two of them have to figure out a way to save her. So I think this is going to be contemporary as well as a bit of romance. I'm not really sure what to expect from this, but I don't know. I hope I enjoy it because it looks interesting, and I really do like the title, An Everyday Hero. Kind of sends the message that, like, you don't have to do something like super insane to be a hero. Like, you just have to be, I don't know, you just have to be a good person. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this. I've never read this author. I've never heard of this author. So I hope that it goes well for me, or else that would suck. Okay, and the next book is the Mary Shelley Club. I did get this shrink wrapped at the Poison Pen bookstore in Arizona, and I just, here, let me, oh, it's got that library book feel to it, and I love it. And I love this cover. I think it's amazing. Anyways, this book is by Goldie Moldavsky. I think that's how you say that. And I would honestly kind of compare this to Bunny by Mona Awad, but only in that both of these books are kind of about exclusive clubs. And this is about a girl who really loves horror movies, and how this girl named Rachel gets caught up in a prank gone awry. And she attracts the attention of the Mary Shelley Club, a mysterious society of students who orchestrate elaborate pranks known as fear tests, which are inspired by urban legends and movie tropes. I think that sounds amazing. I love urban legends and I love horror movies, and this book sounds like it's for me, so I don't know why I haven't read it yet. Like, I just need to buckle up and read it. So yeah, I'm super excited to finally be reading this. Okay, the next book is, I think that's the book I chose last, yeah. The next book is Uprooted, and y'all know my complicated history with this book. This time I didn't make it past page 55. That is farther than I was to begin with though, so I'm on chapter 4. I don't know. I honestly don't know where this book is going either from the 55 pages that I've read. Which is super weird to me because reading so many books, usually by 50 pages, I'm like, I know where this is heading. And this time I'm like, what the heck am I doing? So yeah, we're gonna read this book this month. Like, y'all are gonna hold me to it. We're gonna finish this frickin' book this month. And we will reserve judgment until we finish it. I need to, like, stop being so judgmental sometimes. Especially about books. I get so judgmental, and it's like, for what? And then I like a book more than I thought I would, and I'm like, oh, whoops. This book had a bookmark in it. I forgot to take it out. Oh yeah, one of my students borrowed this and read it before me, so. The next book is The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum, and I'm just gonna read you the blurb. A teenage girl is held captive and brutally tortured by neighborhood children. Based on a true story, this shocking novel reveals the depravity of which we are all capable. This is going to be the hardest book for me to read this month because it is based on the Sylvia Likens case. If you don't know what that is, you could Google it, or don't, like, take my word for it. Like, it's horrific, and yeah, this is going to be really painful for me to read, and I don't know if I will, like, truly be able to, so I might have to, like, kind of shut down a little bit to get through it, because I am a very emotional person, and my empathy is sometimes a little too limitless. So yeah, And like, I'll give you an example. So we went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3 a couple days ago, and I cried like a baby the entire movie because of Rocket's backstory and past, and I could not handle it. And this book is going to be even worse because it was based off someone who actually went through things like this and suffered horribly. Yeah, so the Sylvia Likens case is not quite as famous as some other true crime cases, but basically this young girl was held captive and locked in a basement, and her sister was treated quite differently than her, so I don't know why she was the one who was mistreated and her sister was left alone, I think. And then she was tortured until she died, and police didn't remove her from the home, CPS didn't remove her from the home. It was just very tragic and should not have happened. So yeah, I don't think this is going to end any differently than that case. So I'm kind of going into this with the mindset that the girl will die, unfortunately. But yeah, I am super interested to read this because that is quite a tough case to write a fictionalized version of. And, you know, if you don't be respectful at the same time, then like you're being disrespectful to Sylvia, because this book is ultimately based off her story. And, you know, we should always respect the dead, especially victims who have suffered horribly. So yeah, I am curious to read this. I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I am curious. One of my students read it and she said it was so hard, but also it was so good. So I know that the writing is going to be good because she also reads a lot. So if she thinks the writing is good, I'll think it's good. All right, and the last book for this month is Blood Marked. And you know what? I honestly love this very, what do they call this? I don't know. This series marker, that's what I'm going to call it. This series marker that says book 2, because Sarah J. Maas doesn't label which order her books go in, and it frustrates me because I have to look at the books or Google it every single freaking time. So yeah, book 2, clearly seen. Authors, take note, please, please, please. Yeah, and this cover art, I mean, could we get any more gorgeous? It's gorgeous. And I haven't even opened this, so yeah, I didn't get like a special edition or anything. No, I didn't know what I'm thinking. Ooh, but hello. So the first book was red on the inside, and this one's blue. And I love this 2 that's in there. Like, oh my god, I love that. I love that. Okay, so the first book leaves off on a cliffhanger, and then this one like picks up kind of right after that, so that makes me very excited. I'm hoping it is just as good as the first book, because we all know that sometimes sequels aren't the greatest, but because this book is like still following the same lines, I think it'll just feel like a continuation, which means I hope it will be great. And so basically Bree has come into her powers, and I love how she figured out that she was actually a member of the Order the whole time based on her ancestry. She just was never told that. Yes, I love this. I think this one's also going to be more bureaucratic and political, which makes me excited because I want to see more of the political side of the Order. Yeah. Oh my god. And this purple color, I love it. I love it. Yeah, but this book, no love triangle, please. No freaking love triangle. Okay? Okay. Don't like love triangles. And I think I'm going to have to read one. So we'll see. Sometimes, very rarely, are love triangles done well. I think I have like one book where I liked it, and I can't even remember what it was. So yeah, anyways, we will see how this goes. Okay, so these are the 8 books that I will be reading in June. It's June. I'm sorry, I don't know what order the months go in, apparently. I am so excited, and I think this method is going to work very well because I got quite a few. I have fantasy, and then I have, well, actually this month it's like all fantasy and then horror or thrillers, and there's one romance and contemporary. So yeah, I was picking very similar books, which does like not upset me. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. And yes, I'm excited that I also picked several books I've owned for quite a while and haven't read. That'll be exciting. And these, I think I'm gonna get another like little jar that I could put these in, and it's gonna be so satisfying like once I read all these books to like put them in there and see them get bigger and see that like jar fill up. So I'll have to find a clear one, but I think I'm gonna do that. And thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below for whatever you're gonna be reading in June. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.